Okay.
Oh, I know, like May, T,
Still writing notes.
raccoon.
So, okay. Well,
So
welcome.
sorry.
Welcome, everybody. This is One Foot on the Ground.
This is Johnny.
And this is Ashley. And today we are doing My Neighbor Totoro.
1988.
Directed
Japan.
by Hayao Miyazaki. How
was your Miyazaki?
How is your Miyazaki? I don't know. Oh my God! You know what I just realized just now?
Go ahead.
I don't think I've ever said his name out loud.
I've heard
I've said
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki, but I don't think I've ever had to say his first name. Hayao? Hayao?
I honestly
Ooh,
don't
we
know.
are-
Miyazaki is
Miyazaki's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
by Mr. Miyazaki.
Mr.
The Walt
Miyazaki.
Disney of Japan.
Oh, geez. Oh, well, yes. Okay. Which is funny that most of the distribution that I have for these Blu-rays is the Walt Disney versions. So,
Walt Disney put it on Blu-ray, right? Fox never did.
yes. Blu-ray, yes. Disney. Eventually, Ghibli was able to do it themselves. So now
okay.
they release their own. They have their own. Yeah. So now they release their own.
Are they still in the... Are they the ones that are in the white boxes?
I don't think so. I've only seen one release, and I haven't purchased one yet. Not on purpose. I just haven't done it.
It's on purpose.
No. So we start off this gorgeous, gorgeous piece of cinema with the fun little song.
What's the... Oh, okay. So, the version I watched...
Oh, did you watch the Japan? Oh, that's what I was going to say. We're also going to watch the English language version of the film.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Japanese version?
I watched the Japanese version with English dubs, and then English subtitles. And the subtitles did not match the dub, like,
Really?
at all. Well, like, it was, like, close, but...
Well, I think that happens a lot with these.
It does, but, like...
I mean, any foreign film.
There was some things that where I was like, who transposed this? Because it was, like, when she's like, tadpoles, it was like, pull tads. And I was like...
Hold that.
Yeah, I don't think, like, a person interpreted it. I think it was, like, a
like a bot or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
That
it
could
was
be.
weird.
Like Google Translation.
But I will say that the voices I heard were familiar. And right now, as we're watching this, it has English text for the...
Oh, for the opening credits.
The opening
Yeah,
credits, yeah. And it said, like, Ellen Dakota Fanning and Tim
Yes.
Daly. So, it also has Frank Welker.
Frank Welker? Was he in?
He's
What?
Totoro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Your
cute.
Scooby-Doo boy.
Okay, my Scooby guy.
Yeah.
Totoro doesn't really do much in this, though.
Well, neither does a lot of his characters, right? Wasn't he Bigfoot in the Goofy movie? He does.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he does
those.
do a lot of that, but I mean, in general, Totoro doesn't, I think, he just yells.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like, he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, he does.
So, I don't even know where to begin with all this. So,
Well, this is my first, well, I watched it earlier, but this is the first time I've seen this movie.
I did know
was
that,
for
and I
this
was
podcast.
very excited about it, because this is one of my absolute favorite films, I think, of all time.
Really?
Not just Miyazaki films, but this is, God, this film is good. And just a warning for all of our audience, I'm going to cry during this. I warned Ashley
He was
already.
crying when I came in, and we weren't watching it yet.
Like, it didn't even occur to me, because, like, this happens a lot with me. Like, I don't, because I watch a lot of films alone, and I have for a very long time. So when I watch them with other people, it doesn't occur to me until I'm actually sitting with somebody that, oh shit, I will cry in front of you. You know, because it doesn't even occur to me that I'm going to do that. But I just get so emotional about some of these, and this is one that every single time it happens, and I get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
You know, I am a huge crier. I cry, like, a lot. I'm gonna tell you something, John. I did not cry.
You did not?
This movie, no.
Well, and it might just be me. I don't know.
No,
I don't know if it's...
I can see why a person would cry. I think that maybe
I didn't cry the first time I saw it.
Distracted.
To be honest.
Or,
it took me a minute. But there's also a lot of connotations in reality that I related things to that were, which I'll bring them up, but which I think made this a bond with this film stronger, like because I had personal things that happened, you know what I mean? Like, so it was like, oh, okay, I get this. Like, this is, you know, I don't know how to explain that. Yeah. I'll get to it when we get to it, but first of all, this was kind of a break for Miyazaki.
His breakout film?
Well, hold on. Not exactly, no. He had already had success. He did a Lupin film, Castillo de something, which I never saw. I don't own it. I apologize to all the fans out there that think I'm super nerdy, but I'm not super nerdy.
Yeah, not nerdy enough.
I actually don't like all of the Studio Ghibli films. I like Miyazaki's. For sure. I have not seen Lupin, and that's just more of like, I just haven't seen it, so I haven't purchased it, because I'm like, well, what if I don't like it?
I was under a misconception that Miyazaki, like, was Ghibli. You know?
Well, he was one of the founders of Ghibli.
Okay.
He's one of the co-founders.
Then.
Yeah.
All right.
It's him and one other guy. But even though the logo for Ghibli is Totoro, and that's because this ended up being such a big success. But initially when this came out in theaters, it was a huge disappointment. It did not do well at all. And it made very little money. And it was a horrible disappointment for them, especially since not just Miyazaki, but everybody that worked on the film wanted to make this film.
Right.
Like, it got greenlit even though they knew it wasn't going to be a success. Yeah. Because they wanted this to be made. Because everybody was so passionate about it. Because they loved it. They were like, this is going to be so good. Well, but they knew it was not going to be a success right away.
It was also difficult for them to get greenlit. Because it didn't have, like...
It didn't fit what he had done before, for sure. And it also isn't exactly the same style of anime that I think a lot of people are used to. Does that make sense? Like, Lupin and even Nausicaa, for the most part, have like that anime kind of style. Even Castle in the Sky. Like, leading up to this, they all kind of had that anime style sort of thing. Well, yeah. But he was going for something a little bit different with this one. I mean, it still has anime quality, obviously.
Right.
But it's not as pronounced as previous ones. So this was a little bit more of a departure for him artistically on how he wanted to style something.
This looks like his I've seen Ponyo. This reminds me of Ponyo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it was also something that was set in the 1950s. It was kind of like about death, you know.
It
wasn't like a friendly topic, so they had to get it double billed.
Yes, with Grave of Fireflies, which I think is hysterical, because I was like, I haven't actually seen it, but because I don't know if I can make it through it, because I've heard nothing but horrible stories from people that have seen that movie and thought it was the saddest thing they'd ever seen in their lives. And I was like, well, I'm not watching that.
I read somewhere that it was like the best double billing
Well, I did read that, but I think it was more... I wouldn't say the best double billing, but it's like the most cinematically complex double billing. Especially if you're going to say, hey, like double billing. When I went and saw Sleeping Beauty for the first time, it was a double feature with Tron. So,
oh my! So
that's like a very different double billing than like Grave of Fireflies and Totoro. Now, what's going on in the movie? We should probably talk about this.
Yeah, give a rundown of what this movie is even about.
A dad and his two daughters, one very young and one
in her teens,
10, 12 maybe, I don't know, something like that. They move into this little house in the country, and I don't think they tell you right away why.
Right.
They don't tell you right away.
We meet the mother later.
We eventually learn that it's to be closer to their mother, who is in the hospital because she's very ill. Now, they don't actually, I don't think they ever say why she's ill.
They don't say her illness
is.
Yeah.
Which, that's one of the reasons this movie gets to me. But, so, anyway, so they moved into this little house. And this house, I want this house so bad. I want to live in that house. And they actually did build this house. In Japan, there's like they would do like an expo, kind of like Disney does an expo every year or whatever. It's kind of like that. And so they built this as an attraction for people to come to the expo. And it was so popular with everybody that they left it, and it's still there to this day. Because it was so popular that everybody wanted to be in this house.
But also, I bet it was super easy to build it and for people to identify it and like relate to it as they go through. Because
goosebumps just talking
because
about this.
the kids like whenever the kids like they're in the house for the first time now, and the kids like run through and open all the windows, but they're also showing us the entire house.
Yes, you actually get the layout of the house very easily, and it's such a gorgeous little house. It's literally, to me, this is perfect. This is the kind of house that I would love to own because
it's a big house,
simple.
John. I don't know why you keep calling it little.
Well, it's comparatively little to, I guess. I don't know. But I love like all the traditional Japanese doors and stuff like that. I mean, it looks a little bit non-traditional for Japan, but it has traditional, what do you call it?
Furnishings?
Not furnishings, but the style, like the doors especially. They're paper doors with the sliding. They slide, and they have like the wooden ones that are for like kind of like storm doors.
Yeah, the slats.
But they have tons of. And she found the stairs. So, but early on when they went into the bathroom for the first time, you got to see the soot sprites for the first time, and they all it was complete pitch darkness. And when they opened up the door and the light came in, all the soot sprites like scattered and
like roaches.
It was amazing, but maybe not like roaches, because that would freak me out.
Like roaches.
But I think that was more of like a play on when you open an old dark room for the first time, like for you as a child, you have that imagination of like, I have no idea what this is. Yeah. And then like that's kind of I love that about this film specifically, that it has that magical quality with the kids, and what they're experiencing is probably not real, but to them it is.
Yes.
And it's so exciting to them, and the dad I just love it so much. He gets in with it too, and doesn't spoil their fantasy.
I love how supportive the father and mother are to their
I love it.
To their fantasy. Continue with the synopsis though.
Oh, so they moved, they basically moved to the country to be closer to their mom, and they're kind of having a hard time fitting in for the most part. I mean, you'll see it if you watch the movie, but... And
then a forest fairy.
I forgot. Troll. That's the whole point of the movie. I'm thinking logistically, like whatever.
Yeah. Comes and helps eases their transition.
Yes, the biggest point to the movie is Totoro. But I think that's one of the things about this movie that to me, still, to this day, like just now, I always kind of forget about that in a weird way.
Well, I think
I kind of want to, though, because I want to be... I think you're supposed to. I want to be transported. Like, when I watch this film, this is not me trying to watch a piece of cinema. It's me wanting to be involved in the story.
Yes.
Every single time. Like, I enjoy this every time I watch it. Without hesitation. Absolutely love it.
I really liked the quiet bits, like this part here where the girl sees the suit gremlins.
I love them so much, and they end up in another Miyazaki film.
Is it Spirited Away?
Yes, it is.
Doesn't something else from this movie end up in Spirited Away? It's not Totoro. Is it the Cat Bus?
No, I don't think anything else does. Unless I see it later. I don't know.
Yeah. But the silence and her recognizing that there's you called them sprites, the soot gremlins. Were
I think they call them gremlins. But
they this grandmother figure calls them soot gremlins.
Yeah, I call them soot sprites. I think they call them sprites in
Spirited Away.
In Spirited Away, I think that's why I call them that.
Yeah,
but
I've also never seen that one.
Oh my god! Oh, you're in for. I can't even explain.
I may have just seen Ponyo.
I mean, I'm kind of excited about the idea that you haven't seen them.
I think it's just Ponyo.
These films are so amazing. Like when I first saw Spirited Away, which that was the first one I had ever seen of his, and I can't even remember why I saw it. I mean, obviously there was a lot of hype about it when it came out, and I believe it won the Academy Award for Best Animated Film that year.
Oh wow!
And when that might have been why I saw it, but you know, it's one of those things where obviously I'm not going to watch every single thing I hear about. Like it's just not going to happen. But I do love animation, and like I said, I can't remember why I ended up watching it, but I ended up watching it, and I could not believe it. My jaw was on the floor the entire time I was watching that. I was like, I can't believe everybody hasn't seen this film. Like this is amazing. I've never seen anything so spectacular ever. And then, of course, I watched all of his other films after that because I was like, I have to see all of his films. Except for Lupin. Which I still haven't seen. But the quality of Miyazaki, specifically his films, are immaculate to me.
Yeah?
Like, even if he didn't direct them, the ones that he wrote and storyboarded, like Whisper of the Heart, perfect. Like, it's a perfect film. They're so good. But then if you see on the other Ghibli ones, I've tried to get through them and I just don't, it's not the same. And it's not, I mean, obviously I'll watch other people's films.
Right, it just doesn't have that
it just doesn't have the quality that these have for some reason. It's like there's something not right about them. And so I've never actually, that's why I don't own most of the other Ghibli movies, because I just don't like them as much.
Oof.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the nerds out there, but like The Cat Returns, I couldn't stand it. I had to turn it off. Like, this is stupid.
The Cat in the Hat Part 2?
No. No. But I think The Cat Returns was technically supposed to be a sequel to Whisper of the Heart, but I just didn't. I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to. And there was something lacking in the animation of that one, too. Like, it just didn't feel right. Like, it didn't seem like it all went together. Mm-hmm. Like, it looked like other companies or other groups of people animated certain parts of it, and then
that's also like a thing, right? Like to send it off. We talked about it in Cinderella.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It definitely is. But there's usually a coherent style to the whole thing, and that one did not have it for some reason. I was like, this is weird. Like the cat looked completely different from like the humans. Like it didn't look like it worked together. Does that make sense?
like they were in the same universe.
It didn't look like they should be in the same movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe I should rewatch it. I don't know. Maybe I just had an attitude that day. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, probably that.
But this is the kind of stuff, like you were talking about, the silence or the quiet of the movie.
Where we're just like living it with them.
Just living it with them. And I love that about films. This is one of the reasons I love long, boring movies.
Well, yeah.
Because I love watching people exist.
Same.
I think it's fascinating. Especially if it's a different culture than mine. I'm like, I just want to absorb as much of it as possible.
Yes.
And that's what this kind of film is to me. Like Barry Lyndon, my favorite film. Mm-hmm. Same thing. You're literally just watching these people exist for 3.5 hours or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not like that much goes on. Like, I mean, there's a story, things happen, but you're literally just watching people and they look amazing. Like that's what that is. Or there's a French film, and I'm never going to be able to tell you the name of it, but it's The Name of a Woman and Her Address is the title of the film. And it's literally, I think it's 3 days, it might be 2 days, of this woman's life. And you're literally just, like, there's a point where she's cleaning the living room and she just sits down. Just sits down, take a rest. Nothing happens. But, like, it's one of those things where I'm watching it like, I have to know what happens next. Is she gonna clean the teapot?
Oh my goodness, did you ever see that movie that was a compilation of a day in the life of like people? I want to say it was called A Day in the Life, and a bunch of people like submitted videos of a day in their life, and it was just like cutting through.
That would be fascinating.
It was like in the early 2000s.
I would totally watch that.
Not that we're out of the early
Well,
2000s. But yeah, it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like 2008, 9. Still in the aughts.
Okay.
Not in teens. I could be wrong though.
I totally forgot. I've been waiting. We got beers, yo.
Yeah.
Clink. Oh my god, I love it.
The beer or
the
animation
wind
throwing her
the wind
twigs
it's
away.
Absolutely gorgeous. Just this is actually kind of throwing back to Akira Kurosawa films. Like the weather in his films were always extreme.
Yeah.
Like it's never just sprinkling. It's always a downpour of rain. Or if it's windy, it's windy. You know what I mean? It's never just... It's always an extreme with weather in all of Akira Kurosawa's films. And I think it's kind of the same here. Now, this is a cultural thing.
The baths?
The bath. I think it was one of those things where... Even my mom pointed this out. Because I watched this with my family for Christmas a couple years ago. Because I was like, you've got to watch this film. And this is when I bootlegged it. Sorry, guys. But this is back when I bootlegged it because,
Yeah.
Tricky, you know what I mean. It
Morals,
wasn't out on...
tricky morals.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but I'm not poor and can't afford anything.
Yeah.
But I had to have my family watch this, so I bootlegged it because I needed a copy of it for them to watch. And we all sat and watched this for Christmas, and my whole family loved it. My mom... And this is why I have as many Totoro memorabilia as I have. Mm-hmm. Because my mom loved the movie. And then she knew I loved it, so she has this thing where she'll, buy things off the internet constantly. And she kept buying me all this Totoro stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to say no, because I love it all. I'm like, yes, I want all this stuff! But every time we go to Disney, we go to Epcot, they have a whole, in Japan, they have a whole store, and there's a whole section of Ghibli. So it has tons of merchandise for Ghibli, and this, of course.
Yeah.
But all the Miyazaki films in general. Now the Soot Sprites are going up to the gigantic tree, which the tree is next door to them.
Yeah, the father
kind of
said
important.
He picked the tree.
That was one of the reasons he picked the house, is
yeah.
because that tree was there, and it's a camphor tree, I think they said?
Yes. And it had been there for years and years
Good
and years.
Lord, who knows how long. I mean, it's Japan, too.
It's
probably been there
tree.
since the dawn of man or something.
Yeah, and it was good fortune.
So I want to say, I have so many things to say.
Were you going to talk about the cultural differences?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because, one of the reasons, so back in the day, mm-hmm. when Miyazaki had Nausicaa translated into English, it was like a dub of it made for English people, and they butchered it. Like, they cut all kinds of stuff out, they changed things, and after he saw that, he's like, oh, hell no. You ain't doing that shit to my movies ever again. So after that, all of his films had to, if they're going to be dubbed in English, they had to have, all the names had to be the same, mm-hmm. of the characters. All the cultural and linguistic things had to be intact. So they couldn't change anything. Does that make sense?
Good.
But in this one specifically, the cat bus, the name had to change for cat bus because there wasn't really a translation for what it is over there, like for us. So that's why they call it the cat bus. Because it's quite literally a cat bus. But over there, there's another name for it. But I don't...
Oh, okay. You're not gonna.
I'm not gonna know which name it was. But
I was waiting.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, if there's no translation, I don't know what it was. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know. I think there was one other thing
about the linguistics.
No.
Because Totoro was a thing that people missed.
Duh. Yeah.
Yeah, because
that was one of the things about him being adamant not to change any of the cultural things, was that English audiences don't necessarily know the meaning behind these things.
Right.
Like what a Totoro is in their culture.
Right.
And you looked this one up, I think.
Yeah. It's not Totoro. The girl is reading or learning how to read, and the little one, May.
Yeah.
And she mispronounced, what is it, Tobaru?
I think so, yeah.
which means troll.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she calls him Totoro, to her sister, she says his name is Totoro, and she was like, "You mean from your books?" Like she was,
yeah.
she was referencing the trolls in her like fairy tale books.
Yes.
But yeah, and so like that was something American audiences generally just kind of like missed.
Well, that, and I think when you're introducing a character like Totoro to an
Mm-hmm.
audience, I don't think it really matters.
Right.
Technically, I guess for Japanese culture, they would get that it's a thing, and they would know what it was. They'd be like, "Oh, that's cute. She mispronounced it, and that's what they're calling it."
Yeah.
But for the sake of any other audience, I don't think it really matters.
It doesn't change the story.
No, it doesn't change anything. It's still magical. So now they're visiting their mom, and so you find out,
she's alive, but in a hospital.
Yes.
Because when we first did this, I was like, "Oh, the mother's probably dead, and it's probably like a single father situation."
But she is alive, and I think there's so much I love about this, but I love like her wanting her mom to brush her hair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's things like that get
Where it's
to
just
me.
very plain.
It's simple, but it's also like, because to a child that means a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean that much technically, but it means a lot to a kid. And I get that completely, because like, I was a kid. I still remember all these weird things that like, and it's also a personal thing too. Like, within your own family, you're going to have different things that mean something to you.
Right.
That not maybe to everybody else it doesn't mean anything. But like, I mean, simple things like, me and my mom baking every Christmas. Like, that means a lot to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure means a lot to a lot of people. But, at the same time, like, it's just the experience of doing it with my mom and what she does with her baking and all that kind of, the little details of things that you would only learn if you sat down and paid attention.
Like with Bette Midler in that one movie. Barbra Streisand, not Bette Midler. Why do I keep doing that?
I was like, what are you talking about?
Barbra Streisand.
The Mirror Has Two Faces?
Yes.
Oh, like the way she eats her salad?
Yeah, you love the plate
love
turning.
That. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I love all those
side of ranch, a side dish of ranch. Yeah.
I also love food in Miyazaki films. There's a video, I think I might have posted it a while ago, but it was a montage of every single time Miyazaki animated food. And it was so beautiful. I just love that so much.
That sounds excellent.
There's also a behind-the-scenes video when they were in production for, I don't think it was this, I think it might have been for Spirited Away, but they would, like, every week somebody had to make the food for everybody at the animation department.
Yeah.
And
like
Miyazaki had to do it too, just like everybody else, because that was, a thing that they shared.
Yeah.
And so he made ramen, but I mean, I was watching him do it, I was like, this is insane. Like, ramen for us is like, you go to the Walmart and you get the cheap package and you warm it up. But over there, I mean, it's technically some of the same ingredients, but he's putting like eggs in there and doing other things and all these fancy shit. And I was like, this is amazing. But for him, it's just like, that's just what they do. That's how they make their ramen. I'm like, God damn it, I want you to make my ramen. This is another one of those moments that I love.
Where she's doing her make-believe
just
stuff
doing her little
and asks
thing
her dad to be the flower shop.
Yeah. And like, he's sitting there doing his job or whatever.
His studies.
His studies.
Yeah, because does he work at a college?
He does work.
He works at a university?
I believe so.
But they still refer to his stuff as his studies. So I wasn't certain if he was like also doing schoolwork.
He might be. Maybe he's going for his
PhD.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I just love that he indulges. It doesn't bother him.
Yeah, he doesn't tell them to get their heads out of the clouds.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm busy. You know what I mean? Like,
stop playing with the pull tabs.
The pull tabs.
Yeah.
There's your pull tabs.
Mm-hmm.
But all of this is just so good. It's just good.
Did you know that Miyazaki, when he was growing up, his mother was very ill for a long time?
I feel like I did know that.
So some people think that this is kind of like an autobiographical situation.
Well, nearly all of his films have an autobiographical element to them.
Yeah.
This one, like May, is based on his niece, I think.
His niece?
I believe it was his niece. But Spirited Away, I'm almost certain, was based on his daughter, and it was his kind of interpretation of what she must be going through when they had to move, like to a new place. Kind of like this one, like where you're moving into a new environment. What is that like for a child to have to readjust to their situation, and how? Do you know what I mean? Like, how are we going to transition into that? And which this is. With both of the films, it's a fantasy. It's like Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. Like,
well,
this
it also shares likeness to Alice in Wonderland in areas.
Oh, absolutely. This one especially does.
John, what is this thing called?
It's a Totoro.
That's another Well, it's another troll?
They're all basically the same, I guess.
Except one is maybe older? You think Big Totoro is a...
Totoro is like a full-size Totoro, or whatever. This one's a little mini one, and I love that he disappears and reappears, and the animation on it is so good.
Yeah,
and that's one of those things. Like Miyazaki was always, he loved hand-drawn animation, and even because he did do some special effects, like computer-generated imagery for like, what was it? Princess Mononoke had some. Mm-hmm. Spirited Away had a couple of scenes that were... And it's kind of like, once you know that, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
But when he did Ponyo, and you've seen that one...
I have.
He refused to do any special effects.
And I noticed.
And he wanted it all to be hand-drawn. And he hand-drew all the water.
I was going to say, those waves.
Yep. He did all of that himself.
They lived on a beach,
But he did that.
Oh,
like
that's
specifically,
excellent.
Miyazaki animated all the
water.
water.
That's a lot of work.
That's
Water's tough.
A lot of work. And every time I watch that, it is so gorgeous.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God. Like, how can anybody not love that? How could you not love that? I mean, even if you're kind of sketchy on the story, because Ponyo's not technically my favorite story of his.
Oh, I dug Ponyo.
I do like it. Yeah. But it has a couple moments where I'm
again, my only experience.
Yeah, true. Well, now you have this one.
Yeah, now I have this one.
This one's tight.
It is tight. I really dug Ponyo though.
I
think I might still hold Ponyo closer to my heart than My Neighbor Totoro.
Well, you've only seen it once. Well, like I said, I don't think it was necessarily the first time I saw the movie that it really got to me. It was later. Right. And I think, honestly, I also have this feeling about films and even music when I listen to a lot of stuff. I'm getting deep here, y'all. I'm getting deep. So, a lot of the times with me, growing and learning more and just experiencing more life actually gets me to appreciate things that I didn't before.
Oh, well, yes.
I mean, that's going to happen no matter what.
Same.
But, like, music does that constantly. Like, if I don't like an album right away, especially if it's an artist I really love, if I'm like, that's not my thing, or, like, I'll put it aside, and then, like, a little bit later, like, maybe a couple years later, I'll pick it back up and be like, I'm going to listen to that again and see what I feel now. Because I might have gone through something that makes it more relatable.
Well, yeah.
And it does. Like, Jill Scott's perfect example. Like, I listened to her first album because everybody told me, oh my God, you gotta. And I was like, I love Jill Scott now, but at the time I didn't know who she was.
I don't know who that is.
And, oh God, we're meeting Totoro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Little May has followed the small troll into
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
basically.
Down the rabbit hole into a tree where she finds a big troll.
And he is so fucking cute.
It's just a big old Snorlax.
Oh yeah.
Because he's only sleeping.
I think somebody did mention that before, because I'm not a huge Pokemon person, but somebody mentioned that, and I was like, oh, I guess you're right, yeah.
Well,
He even kind of looks like it.
Well, yeah. The only reason I made that connection is because he, like, sleeps all day. Just like Snorlax. And he's got, like, the similar, like, color pattern. Not necessarily...
Oh, yeah, he does. He's not as bright.
Right.
Because I think the Snorlax is, like,
it's like a paler.
Blue, right?
Yeah. Well, he's like a pale... But yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? It's a different kind of blue. Well, this is more of a gray.
Yes.
Totoro's more gray.
It's a gray blue. It's like a Russian blue cat.
I love the joy that she exudes in this part. Like, she
I
gets
like that she still
so...
scrapes on her knee.
Oh, yeah, that too.
But
Look at this. I love it. She gets so excited.
Because it's a big old creature.
This was my mom's favorite moment, too. She loved this. She's like, this is the cutest thing!
That's funny.
He is adorable.
He, like, sneezed? Or
Yeah.
blew the kid off? I'm talking to
to the audience out there listening.
Yeah, who aren't watching the movie with us, yeah.
True.
Since
He sneezed and blew her off, and she just crawled right back to his face. I was like, I don't love you no matter what.
she's just like in it.
Now, see, this is funny because the subtitles don't actually translate that he is saying, Totoro.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. But
See?
well, I was going to say, like, she repeats it, and then he repeats it, and then she's like, is that your name? And she's like, yeah, it's your name.
And he kind of, says it back.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really say much of anything else.
No. I think that's
He just
might be
gives
the only time he ever
acorns. Like, forms a word.
forms words of any kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of gestures. Yeah.
She starts scratching and he falls back asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love
funny.
it so much.
When I watched this, I was very surprised at how much yelling he did. From the cover, I assumed he was a very peaceful and quiet creature. Yeah, not that he's not peaceful.
Well, no, he's peaceful.
And not
but...
quiet. But man, he yelled anytime he wanted to communicate a thing.
Well, and a lot
He
of times,
just grunted.
well, maybe
real
not
hard
in this moment, but
Yeah.
like later, him yelling was to get
to call the cat
call
bus.
things. Yeah, like
Or-
I guess both times it was cat buzz, wasn't it?
Was it?
Both times that he yelled.
Yeah, or when what's the older sister's name?
Oh gosh, this is May.
Sasky?
Sasky, maybe? Satsuki,
Satsuki.
right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds right.
We'll see it.
Plop.
But, like, when she's like, May's missing, it sounds like he's like, May!
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like he yells her name.
Which the whole May missing thing, oh, God. I'm telling you, this movie kills me. It's so good. But I was going to say, like, on a personal level, I'll get this out of the way real quick. So, I think when I started purchasing these films and starting to get into them was when our friend, her mother had cancer.
Okay.
And she was, ill. And so when I watched this, that's what got to me. Because I was like, oh.
Aww.
And then, in our lives, our friend's mother passed away. So to me, it was just like I still have this weird thing about it where, maybe at the end she wasn't quite as bad.
Right, but
with her illness, but you never know. And there's like that whole thing at the end where like you really don't know because he doesn't tell you anything else after that.
Yeah.
He ends the story and that's all you get. So to me, it was always like sad because to me she probably passed away. Just because that was my personal experience with that kind of thing at the time.
Yeah. Aw.
Of course, now my mom had breast cancer and she survived, so she's still here.
My mom
So it could
had
be either
cancer,
way.
too.
I'm telling you, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All of our moms.
Yeah. But it's like it runs through my whole family. Like my abuelita.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, my grandfather recently.
Oh, jeez.
Recently, like in the past, 3 years.
Oh,
I would say
wow.
It's been 2 or 3 years.
And then our friend, she actually had cancer later. I was like, jeez Louise. We're just
rough stuff.
We're living life, people.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you had related it to that experience. I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
And that's another reason that there's a certain few films that I saw around that time that really got to me because of that situation.
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
I want Erica to see those, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if you should, because it might be too hard. Like this one, I mean, I don't know how she would feel about it. I don't know if she actually ever saw it, but I've always told her I think you should see it, but maybe not right now. And I don't know if she ever has, but
in her own time or in her own experience.
oh yeah,
I'm sure.
absolutely. But I think that's part of the healing process in general, is like dealing with these things whatever way you have to deal with. You know what I mean? Like
Everyone's different.
everybody's different. Me, like, I relate a lot of things to film or music or whatever. Like, that's how I get through the things I get through.
Yeah, I imagine most artists, whether visual or otherwise, connect things through emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interpretations of things.
I have to say, that was one of the things about when Prince passed away. That was very difficult. I mean, obviously, to me, that was the most traumatic thing that's ever happened in my life. Which, you laugh, but it's true.
I know. John, I remember. I remember.
Jeez.
I was just not expecting it in that moment. I was not expecting you to say that in that moment.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I just meant, like, well, especially since, you know, my escape for things is usually Prince.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shit. Well, I can't do that. What am I going to do? And it took me a while before I was able to get through. I still, to this day, I can't listen to, especially live performances of his, really get to me. Because it's never going to happen again.
Not even the one where you yell in the background?
I have listened to that recently. But not the whole show.
Okay.
Like, but I'll listen to parts of it. Like, but that's the thing. Like, if a live performance is, if I can't listen to too much of it before I just start crying, I have to turn it off. Because it's just, that's my comfort. Those are the things that makes me happy. And then it's like, it's just so weird. It's weird.
Yeah, but it's also...
Especially because it was so unexpected and it was such an odd thing.
It's also okay to celebrate him.
No, absolutely.
So.
Girl, I'm celebrating him. Don't you worry about that. You see my shelves. You see my things. I celebrate that man.
Just so the audience can know, today I am dressed the way I'm normally dressed when we record, which is like sweatpants and a t-shirt. But today's a little different. John looked at me and he was like, oh, you're dressed cute. I'm wearing a purple shirt. It's literally the only difference. It's purple.
It's cute.
It's just a solid shirt.
Oh, I love it. I like it.
Oh,
Totoro sitting on top of a
Totoros
tree.
with the horns.
Oh, excuse me. And he's playing a little horny flute thing. I don't know, a gourd?
It looks like a gourd. It looks like a gourd horn.
Gourd horn? Mm-hmm. Gourd horn?
Also, I kind of love the kid that, like, is afraid to approach the girls. Is it because the house is haunted, or is it because he has a little crush on...
I think he has a crush on Satsuki. I think that's why he's the way he is about it.
Yeah, where he's like
that's what
a step away from pulling her hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
That was my cat.
Ah.
My Totoro.
Yeah.
He's almost as big as a Totoro.
Yes, I would say he is.
So, I'm getting into the film, so we should probably talk about it. So I talked about how it bombed. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, so there's a really good story about that. So the movie did not do very well when it came out in 1988 in Japan. And then a year later, it was going to be on television. And when it was on television that year, the ratings were insane. Like, they had no idea that people were going to respond to it that way. Like, it was off the charts.
Was it, when it was on television, was it still with Grave of Fireflies?
No, I think they just played it by itself or whatever. But, so, at the end of the broadcast, they announced that they would give away Totoro stuffed animals made by a toy maker who loved Totoro and was like, I want to make toys for this. And you could get one if you sent in a postcard.
Just a postcard?
A postcard.
Oh,
yeah.
that poor man.
So free, like a free
Yeah.
free toy if you send in a postcard. So this is the best thing. So, and this is postcards, people. This is before the internet, before
Yeah.
emails. So you had to actually write in. So I wrote this one down. So
Read
you had
it
to
to
write a
me.
postcard station, and the response was insane. They had to be carried using 10 3-ton trucks for all the mail that they received to get free toys. And the funny thing is, he never really followed up about it, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's Japan. Mm-hmm. These people are amazing. You know for a fact they fulfilled all those orders.
Oh, of course they did.
They had to.
A promise is a promise.
Yes. So all I can think is, and that's another thing, like, I wrote it down somewhere else on here, which I loved that so much. I loved that story. I was like, that's amazing! Because, I would have done that. I would have been the first person to write a postcard.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to Totoro!
Man, and that is such, that's low stakes. Like, oh, hey, if you liked it, we'll give you a toy.
Yeah.
Or send us a postcard.
Well, they didn't think, because the movie did so badly in theaters, they figured this might get people to actually pay attention. Yeah. But then at the same time, like, oh shit, everybody loved it!
I wonder what, because I have a note that said they sold 801,000 tickets to the film in 1988. I wonder if that may have been a re-release.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't have been, because it was a year later. Would have been 89
Yeah,
for the
you're
television.
right. Yeah, it did 30. All right, so I thought that they had a huge budget.
I want to go back to that scene.
What scene?
It's one of my favorite moments in the movie.
Are they stuck in the rain right now?
Yes, they're stuck in the rain.
Oh, was it when they paid their respects to
Yes.
the statue?
To the statue, because they took shelter in the little, what do you call that? It's a... Shoot, what is that called?
It's not a mausoleum. It's
No.
not a monument. It's not. It's a little thing with
It's
a
like
little
a
statue.
little
It's almost like a tribute.
Shrine.
Yeah.
It's a shrine. So it's a little shrine.
Mm-hmm.
And, which, in that culture, that's not unusual to have shrines like
Right.
this all over the place. And they took shelter in it, which might be very disrespectful to do that. So the fact that she thanked the shrine for letting them stand there, I just loved that so much. It was such a cute, respectful thing for that girl to do.
That's also my favorite part, and that they thanked the tree with their father.
Yeah, yeah.
They thanked the tree too.
And that's them trying to, like, just bond with their environment and respect it in some way.
Yeah.
Which, we don't do that over here.
Speak for yourself,
We
John.
chop down the damn trees. Not you and me. We need a parking lot.
More parking lots.
So I was going to say, where is it? Did I write it down?
About the shrine?
No, about the toys.
Well, while you look for that, I will tell you that the budget.
Tell me about the budget.
The budget I found was $236 million.
$236 million to make this?
And
That seems like
I'm
a lot.
wondering if that's for both the movies. But even so, that's still a lot. In
That's still a lot
1988,
for 1988 for an animated film.
yeah, dude. Like if we look back at our other films, like the budget for Starship Troopers was $105 million. The Dark Crystal, $15 million.
Now, you did make sure that those was in millions and not like in yens?
Oh.
Because yens, it would have been astronomically
No,
more.
it was on. All right, so I checked in multiple places, and on Box Office Mojo, they normally put it in U.S. dollars.
Oh, okay.
I'll double check.
Because you know what I mean, like a lira or whatever in Italian back in the day. Now they have euros, but you see like
23 million would be
like when
more
Kabiri is
reasonable.
asking her friend if she has 1,000 lira laying around. It's like, what? But that's like $2.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 100 yen. That's 100 yen is $1 for us.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I don't know anymore. At some point, that's
Something to that
yeah.
effect. Okay, so now we're getting to one of the most famous moments in the whole film. It is actually on... Technically, this is sort of the poster of the film.
You know, it's also... No, it's U.S. dollars. That is insane.
That's a lot of money.
That's too much. In 1988...
That's a lot.
Oh.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
I don't
It's
know
worth
what
it.
film budget. Maybe, you know, I'm just unfamiliar with Japanese budgets and expectations.
I mean, Akira Kurosawa usually had to have multiple countries fund his films. So maybe, maybe it was more expensive.
But the poster of this only has one girl.
It does, which always kind of bothered me. It's
Do
not
you-
completely accurate, but it
do
is
you know
still
why?
adorable. No.
It was only going to be one girl. Satsuki and Mei were going to be one person. And then towards the end of it, they decided to split it into two.
Okay. So did they do the poster first as like a...
Maybe they had it established.
Like a, you know what I mean? Like a...
Yeah.
Uh,
kind of like a working title.
storyboard.
Yeah.
Or... Yeah, like
Yeah.
a concept art. There
Yes.
you go. Thank you. Maybe that's what it was. Look at the lighting. Everything about this is just so gorgeous. It's all that money.
Yeah,
Well
it's because
spent.
they had
Well
all
spent
that money.
But yeah, this is basically the poster of the film, where Satsuki and Mei are waiting in the rain with her red umbrella at the bus stop for her dad, and her dad was supposed to have been on the earlier bus, but for some reason he wasn't. And the reason they go to the bus stop is because it is raining, and they want to bring him his umbrella because he forgot it.
Yes, and that's cute.
Because they're adorable.
Yeah.
So
Aw,
she's
and
going to carry...
and May sleepy.
May's sleepy, so she's going to carry on her back. Oh, look at the detail, though. All the detail is crazy to me. Like, the bus stop sign actually has the schedule of the bus on it. You know what I mean? Like...
Well, all right, yeah. No, I got you. Yes.
It's that money.
US
It's that budget.
That's the.
They had the budget to have somebody put a bus schedule.
That's insane. Does that include, like, when Fox took it and Disney took it, and what they paid the dubbing actors and like the rest of the people?
I don't know. Well, I was going to say there was a dub in 1988. It was an English language dub, but it was only for in-flight for Japan Airlines. It was an in-flight feature, and that's why they had it dubbed, which is funny to me. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And then Fox eventually dubbed it for in English, but they only had the rights to the English version, so they couldn't release it with a Japanese dub or anything.
Well, they
And then their license came up in 2004, and that's when Disney came in. And,
yeah, Fox took it in 1993.
yes,
And they had it for like 9 years.
which is one of the reasons it was a kind of like a postponement
Or 11
for
years.
Disney to do the dub, because Disney I think was already working on dubs for him at this point. When
Oh, okay.
do you know what I mean? Kind of like I had an example, and I can't. I love that so much. She's like shocked because she's finally seen Totoro for the first time.
Yeah,
Satsuki.
and he's
Totoro's
big.
standing there. He's huge, and he's standing there next to her with a leaf on his head.
Yeah,
to
covering
protect him
himself from the rain.
Which I think is so fucking cute.
Yeah, it's really
so
cute. Aw. But yeah, after Disney took it, and they like re-released it into theaters, didn't they? With Dakota Fanning and Elle Fanning and
Yeah, they did theatrical
that.
releases for all of
yeah,
Miyazaki's.
and
Or all the Ghibli ones that they released. Yeah.
the merchandising sales and all
Oh,
that
that's what I
good
was gonna
stuff.
say.
Yeah, they grossed like 1.5 billion.
There you go. Thank you.
In their lifetime revenue. So even though it started off like a little rocky, all they needed to do was like find their fan base.
I mean,
And it just
they said
exploded.
specifically that they had no clue that Totoro was going to do any of this success. Like, they
Yeah.
had no idea. But I think he was just happy because Miyazaki said about making the film that, like, at some point the ideas for Totoro, the world of Totoro, were so big in his head. Like, he's like, I have to do this. He's like, I have to make this film at some point in my career. And so when he was able to do it, he did it. And of course, this is what happened. Now we're doing a podcast about it.
By the way Totoro gets spooked at first from the
love
raindrops on the umbrella, that's exactly what it's like to walk Chewy in the rain. He gets so spooked by the umbrella that I have to discard it and just walk in the rain with him.
He gets freaked out by it, but he
loves it. Yeah, because it's a new thing.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
I love how his little ear sticks
like through
pokes
the umbrella. Yeah.
too. I think that's adorable. And then he loves it so much that he
jumps to shake the tree.
to shake the trees and gets all the dew off the trees.
and just roars.
And then roars because he needs transportation.
Yeah.
And
is that
it's
why
the
he
cat bus.
roars, or is it a coincidence? I thought he was just pumped, and now we have a cat bus.
Look at that animation. That is
Yeah, it's
so
kinda
gorgeous.
You know what I love about Cat Bus?
He has
They
little rats.
drew testicles on him. There's little testicles every time he flies
Do
over.
you know, I did not even notice that.
I am shocked.
That is kind of shocking that I didn't notice that.
Don't worry,
I'm
I'll
so
point it out.
enchanted. Now he gives Satsuki a gift, or May.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little package, and normally if you get a stuffed animal of Totoro, he has that in his hand.
Aw, that's cute.
Just so you know.
When I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's Cat Bus fare. But they planted it instead.
God, I love that so
balls.
much. It's so beautiful.
Where do you think he was going?
I don't know.
What type of business do you think Totoro has?
I don't know.
He's going to town.
He
Is
needs
there another little
transportation.
girl? Yeah.
I think he showed up specifically to protect them. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't think it was a coincidence that he showed up there. And then he knew the bus was coming, so he got
just-
his own bus.
Yeah, and he just left. To keep them
And
company.
he gave them a little what is that?
Little token?
A charm, a token.
Yeah.
There's the dad.
There's other theories, though. I mean, Miyazaki came out and was like, that's not right.
Yeah, he said it wasn't a spirit, forest spirit. He said it was just an animal.
Oh, no. I meant the theories that Totoro is like the god of death.
Oh.
And that May actually dies. Like when they find her sandal.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Miyazaki said that wasn't true, because
Like,
that's
it-
fucking dark shit. Man.
Oh, I loved it. That's the hole I was getting into. I was like,
Oh,
I
is
need to
that
know
what
more.
you were getting into?
Yeah,
Jeez.
because there were theories that May died because of the sandal, and they were like, oh no, she's actually dead. And then like towards the end, they're no longer drawn with shadows, and so they're like, she's dead. Duh, there it is. And then people believed that it was based on the Samaya incident, and that is an old murder case where this dude he raped and murdered a 16-year-old girl and then did like 31 years in prison for it. It was in the month of May. It was the little girl's name is May, and they drink Samaya tea in the film. And the hospital number is similar to some other number, or is the same as some other number relating to the incident. And the older sister loved her, so they had a very close relationship. She had a close relationship with her younger sister who, died. And she had said that she had seen, like, figures, like, of, like, raccoons and something else. Like spirit animals before she then like took her own life.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, very sad. But you can see how all those little things can.
I mean,
like a person can read into it.
Confirmation biased.
Well, that's
what that
exactly
is.
what it is. But I
But-
love it. Miyazaki was
I
like,
mean,
"Stop it!
It's like, no, that's not what I was doing.
Stop it! That's brutal."
That's not what this is about. It's a cute story, and John loves it. Leave it alone. It's bad enough the mom's ill. Let's not do anything.
I
else
love
to this.
ruining things for you. John.
Okay, so this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, is this it? Maybe this isn't it.
what?
The moment that starts to make me cry.
Is it where they planted? Did they plant the acorns?
Did they already plant them?
They planted the acorns. Yeah, they got home. They planted the acorns. They wanted it to grow. It's not growing.
Yeah. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, and they
Oh
do their
my
little
God, I love
dance.
Okay, so this actually kind of makes me laugh now because I walk on the Bay Shore all the time, and there's all kinds of weirdos out there. And one day, this older dude was doing this exercise while he was walking, and it was exactly the same as this.
He was doing the Totoro,
He was doing the Totoro
plant ritual.
Like he was doing like with his hands like this, and he would like jump up and I was like,
he was
he's
trying
doing
to get
the
his
Totoro.
garden to grow.
He was trying to get the garden to grow. I wanted to film it so bad because it was exactly the same thing.
He had to have known.
He had to have known.
Yeah, what
I mean,
he
that's
was
just
doing.
an odd thing to do.
Yeah. Did he also try to pull, like,
He was like, it looked like he was
sprout?
pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was the exact same movement.
I hope he also, like, drew sweat beads in those moments.
He was sweaty.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's hard work.
It is.
Yeah.
I love this so much.
You're growing trees out there.
Oh, I love this. It's so beautiful.
It is. I do like the dance.
Well, not just that, but like...
No, I really wish I would have seen that guy dancing.
Yeah, seriously. But look at that. It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just love it so much. And I love the dad is like sitting there doing his work.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. He's just sitting in
He's
there.
sitting there.
No, not paying any attention to his daughters that are thrusting upward into the night.
And this gorgeous huge trees.
Well, he sees them, doesn't he?
He
Or no.
glances out there, but...
I
Well,
thought
what
that
we're
there
going
was
to
a
learn
moment.
later is that no, there's no tree there.
Right. No, but I thought he saw them
And then
playing.
he gets his top.
Yeah, that... What? I just love that the
Love it.
little Totoros
I
eat
love
their
this right here.
umbrellas.
Where they get so excited and they just jump on him.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Like, I want to do this. God, I love this.
Come on. The older sister better jump. Otherwise, she's going to lose her younger
I
sister.
actually have, it just reminded me,
To
I have
murder.
a little fan, battery operated fan that is shaped like Totoro on the top with his mouth open, and that's where the air comes out.
That is so silly.
It's
I
ridiculous.
love it.
I bought it so I could have it at my desk at work because I always need a fan, and it turns out is the loudest thing ever, so I couldn't use it. And it didn't actually pump out a lot of air. It's basically
Was it like Totoro breathing? It was
an
like,
adorable figurine.
see, here he's roaring.
Aww.
Oh, that's cute.
I just love it so much.
Yeah. His voice is not something I expected. Like, even now.
Oh, see, I'm getting emotional. I just love it.
Oh my goodness. Do you want to talk about the murders?
As John cries, let's talk about murders.
Yeah, let's just dive
What
right
the
into
hell are you talking
that
about
little-
murders for?
Because I like the idea of him being the god of death. I wish it were true.
Jeez.
He also came out to say something else, like some other theory wasn't real, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was the fairy thing.
Instruments play.
Oh, this is what I was
On the
thinking of. Him
desk,
seeing
yeah.
them in the tree,
We can hear
playing
it.
their gourds. Yeah.
And he just peacefully was like, oh,
He's like, okay, yeah.
Whatever it is, it's peaceful and it's beautiful.
Oh.
Oh, I just love that. Oh, I want to live there.
1950s Japan and Samaya?
Well, they didn't really...
I don't know if
I
it's
don't think
Samaya,
they
but they were having,
specifically
like, Samaya
wanted
and
it to
tea.
be a specific time. I think he wanted it to be the past and present, just a time, like a timeless kind of thing. Now, the tree didn't grow, but they did sprout.
Their
and they are
plants sprouted,
super excited. And now they're doing the dance.
Yep.
Oh,
It works.
I love it so
I
much.
thought it was a dream. We did it. And the dad's like, okay.
His dad's like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
In a
Glad-
nice way,
glad they
not
have
a
something.
sarcastic way.
Yeah.
Which is very nice.
It is nice. Do you want another beer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go get another beer. Do you want another of the same?
Yeah, I'll do one. Oh, I'm doing a loose cannon IPA, which is really actually good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I just had a Funky Buddha Blueberry Cobbler, one of their seasonal
Oh,
beers.
you have the blueberry cobbler.
Yeah. I just finished it. Otherwise, I would let you try it. John doesn't like blueberry things,
I'm
but
not a
I
huge
still
fan of
like to
blueberries.
make sure that you still don't like it.
You never know. You never know. I have been watching a lot of Great British Bake Off, and I might be into some fruits.
Oh.
Because
You
everything
know,
they make
John.
looks amazing. Oh, I made a lemon tart.
What? Where is it?
It's in the fridge.
Goes into fridge,
hold on.
beer. Or eats tart. You can have that. Oh, I'll take it.
You just put it on the counter.
Okay.
So now they're picking vegetables with the granny, which they call her granny. She's just the neighbor. She's really cute. And they put the vegetables in the stream to cool them off, which is a thing that you would do before you had refrigeration. So I guess it is kind of a different time. But at the same time, like, I think a lot of, like in Italy, you don't have a refrigerator. You just get all your ingredients for what you're going to make, like, fresh from the market. I mean, well, clearly you can have a refrigerator if you want one, I'm sure. But a lot of traditional houses in Italy don't have one. And also they're smart because they would put the dishes, like the drying rack for dishes, above the sink.
Right.
And I always thought that was so smart. I was like, you guys are smart. Like in the cabinet space above the sink. So it drips down into the sink, but and then you can just pull the dish off of the rack. It's so smart. Italians are smart.
Don't they have that
Japanese
sort of
people.
setup in the TV series, the U.S. version of Shameless?
I have no idea, maybe. Did you grab a different beer? What kind did you get?
I grabbed, it's still Funky Buddha because I got a Funky Buddha mix pack. And I got the Floridian, which is a Hefeweizen.
And I only got Loose Cannon IPA.
Oh, did you want something different?
No.
Do you want the Hefeweizen?
No, I wanted this one. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't get a variety pack for our audience.
Heavy seas of beer.
I got the head in my mustache.
Gross. Is there orange and Hefeweizens? Or is that wheats?
This is also one of those things that I loved about this was, like, they got a telegram stating that their dad needs to call the hospital. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it doesn't have details, so they're like, well, fuck. And this is back in the day before there's, like, cell phones and shit, so.
Well, it was also, I know in America it is a right to have a phone, like a landline. And so, like, if people live there, there has to be, like, landlines developed. So, like, I know phone companies have to make
For
sure.
real?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was, like, an old.
Is that still a thing?
I'm pretty sure it's, like, an old contract
Wow.
between phones and the U.S. government. But at this point in time, not everybody has a phone. Like, even if you have, like, the ability to connect to a phone, you don't necessarily own a phone.
Yeah, well, and back in America anyway, like in the 50s maybe, there'd be party lines. Like, so a whole building would have one line, and you would it'd be a party line. Like, you'd have to, like, hey, I need to use the phone if somebody's on it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to use
like
the phone.
in prison?
Get off the phone. And then that's how great plot points for Doris Day movies. I mean, so many good ones because of a party line. Actually, if you ever read the liner notes for the Thoroughly Modern Millie soundtrack on vinyl, it has like because it came out in 67? So it has a little blurb on it, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a little role play kind of thing, like, hey, pick up the party line and get on the phone and talk to your friends about Thoroughly Modern Millie. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, but it's like telling you to spread it by party line, and I thought that was hysterical.
That's great.
So I guess it lasted until the 60s, obviously. Because on Thoroughly Modern Millie soundtrack, like on the liner notes, not like on the, you know what I mean? Like on the little blurb on the back to get you to buy the soundtrack and watch the movie in the theaters. Which, that's what those things were back in the day. You know, soundtracks and stuff. It was just promotional shit to get you to watch the goddamn movie.
Well, isn't
I
that
think
still...
everything is still. But nowadays, it's more of like a thing for enthusiasts, like, to have the score for this film that they like, or pop music needs to be on the soundtrack so they can have a hit record. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Actually, the very first soundtrack for songs from movies was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That was the first time they ever did one. Because the songs were so popular that they were like, well, let's put them out on a record. And so they did, and it was huge. And then the first time a score was ever released on a record for purchase was Sleeping Beauty.
You love bringing up Sleeping Beauty.
I fucking love bringing up Sleeping Beauty. Any opportunity. Same with Madonna. And look what happens.
I'm surprised she didn't come up sooner, being that there's a giant poster
There
in
is
front of us.
gigantic Madonna True Blue poster in the room with us right now. And
It's beautiful. It's a great...
yeah. And it's a great story of
Ah!
me getting the damn thing. So this poster in the frame has been in the flea market at this record station, or you know what I mean, like a little record, what is it, a venue? You know what I mean, like how they have stalls. The record stall, like one of the people that had records and memorabilia and shit. And he's been there the whole time we've ever gone there. And that poster has always been hanging prominently in this shop, like so that it's like a big deal. It had a big old price tag on it. Like,
Yeah?
you know, it's expensive. And this is an expensive poster in general. This is an original promo poster for True Blue.
Yeah, I was going to ask because it doesn't fill your standard frame.
No. And it's also the True Blue, like actual True Blue,
Yeah.
is silver print. So it's an actual promo poster from the time the album came out.
Yes.
And it's promotional use only, like it says it on there and everything. Which, you know, whatever, anyway. But I wanted it, but I was like, I'm not paying all that money for that shit. Fuck you. I mean, even though I know that it's worth money, but I'm like, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a cheap person. I'm like, I want a deal. I want the cheapest version of the thing I want. Like my Sleeping Beauty poster. Like, those go for hundreds of dollars. And I finally found one on eBay where this guy just randomly had all these posters that because he used to have a theater at some point, and he had all these tons and tons of great posters.
Ooh.
And he had rolled
He's
and
not supposed to sell those.
no, he had rolled and folded.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually bought both of those. He had a folded one and a rolled one, and I bought both because I wanted both, and they were like $15 a piece. Those things go for at least $300.
Yeah.
And they're in mint condition. Well, the folded one isn't anymore because the cat chewed on a corner. But anyway, I have the rolled ones. But anyway, so the True Blue, he was closing his stall, and he had a little sign up that said all posters $1. And I was
wow.
well, and the Madonna one was kind of sitting off to the side, and I was like, so is Madonna $1? And he's like, well, and I was like, you know, it says $1. And he's like, well, how about $5? And I was like, yeah. Gave him a sweaty $5 bill.
Oh, gross.
Ran. It probably was sweaty because I was really hot. But yeah, I got that for $5.
Nice.
How fucking cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
That's a Madonna story for this podcast episode.
Excellent. We can end now?
Yeah, we're
We
done.
got to Madonna.
No. So anyway, so now
Now May's missing.
so what happened was she got on the phone with her dad, told her dad to call the hospital, and it turned out that it wasn't really a big deal. Like, I think
Right.
the mom was supposed to come home, but she couldn't because she got sick, but it wasn't that serious. It was just
It was something that
it
they
was
needed to
something that-
manage.
yeah, they needed to manage, so she needed to stay there. So May thought that she should go to the hospital and bring her mom this corn that they picked because it was magical, because it
was full of nutrients.
full of nutrients and love, which
Yeah.
the granny told them. And so she was like, well, my mom could use this because this would help her.
Gross.
And so she wanted to take her the corn, and now, of course, May is missing because a little girl trying to walk. I mean, they did move closer to the hospital, but it's still like a day's walk for an adult to get to the hospital.
3 hours.
Is that what she said?
3 hours for an adult.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something.
I was like, that's a lot.
A day? Well, 3 hours is actually a lot, too.
Yeah. I'm like, I've had to make 3 hour drives. So I'm like, whoa, this is a lot.
Well, 3 hour drive is different than 3 hour walk.
I know. I think I'd find
Look
a
at
3
that.
hour walk
Look
more
at
peaceful.
that. Look at that's money well spent.
Yeah.
Now I know where all that budget money went.
You know, I'm disappointed that there's not a lot of water in this movie.
There's a lot of water in this movie.
What are you talking about? Other than the rain?
she dunked a bucket of water. She got a bucket of water earlier,
and
there was a little stream bubbling just a minute ago.
Look at that sky, though.
Look at that sky. It's gorgeous. I love how he did the animation for.
And May dies in a pond. You're right.
Oh, shut the fuck up! She doesn't die in a pond. She doesn't die. May is not dead.
Yeah. This part is what got to me, where she's like asking all these strangers like if they've seen her little sister, and they're like, "Whoa, she should not be walking to town."
Oh my god, she should not be walking.
Yeah, and then when we cut back to Granny, is that what we call her?
Yeah.
To Granny's like got like a search party going on, and like people are yelling, you know, over there it's deeper. Start over there.
They're what is that called? What do they call that when they search the pond? There's a name for that.
Like a rescue?
Drag the pond or something like that.
Where they've got the sticks and they're poking at the bottom.
Yeah, like they're really getting into making sure that nobody's in the pond.
Yeah.
And guess what? There wasn't anybody in the pond.
I mean, that they found.
I love how he's trying to ride that gigantic bicycle.
Yeah. I like that little detail.
I know. It's so real. Like, you know, that's the kind of shit that happens in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that happens in real life.
I love that. I love that. It's so cinematic. Like the idea of like, he tells her that information, she panics and has like an image of the sandal in the pond. And of course it's got a dragonfly on it. Because it's just so gorgeous.
Aren't dragonflies representative of something?
Oh God, probably murder and death.
No, I think it's emotions unsaid.
Oh, look, water.
I think it's
water.
what it is. All right, fine.
You need to stop with the water. Oh, I didn't
love
think
the
of that
water.
with the Ponyo. No
Yeah.
wonder you loved it so much. Because of the water. Look at her bruised feet.
Swollen feet. Nasty. Take those shoes off.
No, she's going to hurt the bottoms of her feet, though. But she needs to get her
around
sister.
A lot.
That's the thing.
She needs to find the spirit of her sister.
I love that. You know what I mean? Like that. The effort and the concern and the urgency. I just love it. I just love it so much. It's such a beautiful, like the community coming together to find her. To make sure she's not dead in the pond.
How long has she been missing?
Not too long.
We're starting to get to dusk.
Yeah.
She's like praying.
She's praying with the sandal.
Mm-hmm. Rubbing it between
Now they're
going to
show her the sandal to make sure to like, is it
hers?
Is it May's sandal? Oh. It's very dramatic.
Is it?
Oh, it's not May's sandal.
Yeah, she was positive it was. Man, I wonder.
Oh, my goodness.
If it actually was.
It wasn't. God damn it. You just stop with that. I'm mad that you told me that. This is why I don't look at the internet. I would like to enjoy my cinema without a side of murder.
I can show you some images.
No! God dang it. Look, the tree. She's like, oh, Totoro. Totoro can help me.
Yeah. Or maybe her sister went to find Totoro.
Oh, I just love everything so much. It's just so good.
It is good. I'll give you that.
There's more of your water. Don't worry.
Oh, that water was in no way moving.
It was gorgeously serene. It was moving slightly. It had a
small shimmer.
A small.
Oh no.
Oh.
And I like that she asked for permission to come in.
She asked for permission to come in and basically for Totoro to be there.
Yeah, to be seen because he
seen.
won't be seen if
he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, and that's totally reasonable. What a superpower.
God, I would love that.
Right? I don't want people
like
to
at
talk
work.
to me.
Like, where's John? I'm sitting right at my desk the whole time.
You're still getting work done.
Oh yeah.
You just don't want to talk to anybody.
Nobody's here. Mm-hmm. And I am asleep.
Totoro only sleeps. He sleeps during the day and he's active at night. He's a nocturnal troll.
Oh yeah, for the most part, yeah. Aww. And I love that reaction to him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, oh shit, she's crying.
Yeah, and then he squeezes her. And then it's a yell in her face. I hope.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, right there.
She's like, oh shit.
Yeah. What does it mean?
Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Oh my god! I love it so much. I love the sound effects too. Like,
or it's like. He's just happy to be included. That's Totoro.
I think it's more so like the emotional parts for me and why I cry. It's the joy of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what gets to me. It's just so beautiful.
This is where she realized nobody else can see Cat Bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where, you ready? You ready for some testicles?
There's
there.
his... Oh, yeah! Look at his little newts.
Huh.
Oh,
they show him again.
Them.
There's stuff like every time we see
he can walk on water,
the cat.
By the way,
the cat.
Yeah, he just did. You missed.
Oh,
all
I thought
of
he
the
was
water.
just running fast.
No, he.
Like if you run fast enough, you won't break the surface tension of the water. Look at those little lizard things. He's just going fast. I guess it's walking on water.
I love that she gets to be in the bus and it's just so cute. It's like it's just, I mean, it's creepy, but it's cute.
Yeah,
it's
she's
like,
gonna need a lint
it's
roller
alive.
when she gets out.
It's alive. Everything is alive.
And
she is sitting on a squishy something.
Yeah,
the cat does say May.
Yeah. Well, I think Totoro also yells May. Or I thought
so
he yelled something. Similar. Like little rat butts, little rat lights. I like that too.
Oh, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm sorry.
What? For the cat? Oh, because she's gonna find her sister?
And then they go see the mom.
Your sister's gonna be at the hospital. But they're not gonna hang out with their mom.
No, but she leaves the corn.
She does leave corn.
Oh, God.
The magical corn. But that makes her mom better. I like the dog. I like that the dog acknowledges.
Oh, I guess they do have some little, at the end, they do show you a little bit of what happens later.
Yeah?
Yeah. The end credits. Because I believe their mom has another child.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah. There is actually technically a sequel. But it was very highly guarded. It is only for the exhibition in Japan for the museum. And you can watch it at the museum. But I have tried to find copies of it online, and I was not able to. Oh, yeah. They might actually... I don't know. It might be online nowadays. But when I searched for it back in the day, like, I couldn't find it.
It might. They also might have it released in some type of, like, form.
I was actually hoping that they would do a release of Miyazaki's short films, because he's done a bunch of short films, including the sequel to this.
I love shorts.
And, because the short... Or it was the Totoro sequel was a short film. It wasn't a full film. But he's done a bunch of short films. And where are they? They're not on my shelf.
Gross. Gross.
I mean, it makes them more magical. You know, it's more mysterious.
I guess so.
Makes
but
me
that
want to
also
visit
makes
the
you want
museum.
them more. Oh, yeah. Which is only in Japan?
Yeah, let's go.
That sounds like an expensive museum ticket.
They're opening a theme park for Studio Ghibli. So we
like
can
a Disney theme
we can
park?
wait, and we can go when they open that.
Okay.
And we can also go to Italy and go to Cinecittà Studios, where they also have a theme park that is film based.
This sounds very expensive.
Well,
we're gonna have to like start like a
Patreon. So footsies, we would like to go to Japan and Italy for the podcast.
Yeah,
we can do live podcasting at the museum.
I love that the cat's paws are like all over the tree.
I love
But also
that.
not all of them. If you look at the bag, it's just like hanging out.
Well, he's got a bunch. See, the corn did help. Oh, wait, no, the corn is right there.
No, they haven't seen the corn yet. They're like, who would leave this corn here?
But she still wants to get better for her daughters.
Yeah,
which I
of course
think is
she does.
beautiful.
And her husband, because like right now he doesn't have a caretaker.
True,
Traditionally,
true.
it's the mother.
Oh, I forgot to say. I just read this on my notes.
You took a lot of notes. I'm
I
proud
did.
of you.
2013,
Uh-huh.
there was a velvet worm that they discovered, and the scientists insisted to call it Totoro. Or, well, it has a longer technical name, but then
it's-
Totoro is involved in the name. And it was because it actually looks like the cat bus.
Ah.
And there is pictures of it. I will have to post some of them on our Instagram, so you guys
Do
have to
it,
go
yeah.
to Instagram. I will definitely post those.
And I'll
But
post the
it's-
murders.
please don't post the fucking murders. Nobody's dead. Look, nobody is dead.
Yet.
Oh, god damn
Oh
it.
my god. She's hugging a ghost.
And I
John's
love,
mad at me.
I
That's what
love
that
that
silence was.
Miyazaki wrote the lyrics to this song.
Okay.
And I love, every time he does this, because he's done this a bunch, like for his films, they are very literal lyrics. It's like, we planted seeds and watched them grow. And, like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
all the things they did in the movie. It's
That
like,
also sounds very
look, her mom's coming home.
Japanese.
You see that?
Uh-huh. They're having a bath.
Pat Carroll was the granny. Oh my god, that's Ursula. I didn't know that.
Oh! See? Frank Welker.
Okay,
Cat bus.
okay. See, look. There's a new baby.
Uh-oh. Boys versus girls in a softball game. I want to see that story.
Yeah, so look, they have a little brother now.
All right.
I think it's a brother, maybe.
Because it's dressed in blue.
In blue. I know that's very sexist, but
Wow.
gender, what do you
I
call
like
it?
the Totoro borders.
Oh yeah, it's so cute.
And her patch is a Totoro.
Oh yeah, she got a little Totoro patch.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And they are eating up those acorns. It's pretty great. I guess I didn't. I guess they have a little brother.
Yeah.
And there's the gourd.
He's looking at it like,
Is this
oh,
gourd
why's my
flute?
gourd over there? Oh,
Yeah.
she drew the cat bus.
With a lot more legs.
A lot more legs.
Yeah.
She wanted everybody to get on that bus.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was a big ass bus. Look at that. Totoro, Totoro.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Look, May's growing up.
Yeah. And she's got 3 boys behind her. You think that's her? No, that's the kid that's got a crush.
Yeah, that's a crush kid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what the sequel was about. I don't remember.
Oh, the Totoro snowman. That's cute.
That's cute. It's a Totoro snowman. And look, the mom's reading him a book in bed. It's about Totoro.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the cat bus walking away with his little newts.
Little paws.
Oh, now it's ladybugs. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's the end.
It was nice.
Such a good film.
Yeah.
A good, wholesome film for
with
everybody
dark
to enjoy. No,
themes.
no dark themes.
With-
You're
with-
ruining
with dark
it!
origins.
I didn't cry as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's probably because you
you
ruined it with the murders. I really did think I was going to cry a lot more.
I thought you were too.
Me too, yeah. Well, you did bring up the murders, and I am drinking, which you would think would make it different.
But we were also talking through it. So
True, yeah.
maybe that was helpful. That
It
you
probably
weren't
was, yeah.
completely
So this actually
immersed.
makes me feel better about us choosing other films.
Oh,
Because
wonderful.
maybe I could watch ones that make me cry, but we won't necessarily cry.
Right on.
I can't guarantee that, though. I'm not crying.
I also can't guarantee that I won't.
Yeah,
cry.
who knows? So anyway, so yeah, that's Totoro.
Right on.
Anything else? Do we have anything else to add?
I don't think I do. The music was by Joe Hisashi.
Joe?
I can't. Hisachi? He does like solid work.
Oh, so I was going to say in China, due to long-standing political tensions, The film had never been released in China until 2018.
Oh, wow.
And it actually, obviously was released. And on its opening weekend, it made $13 million on its opening weekend in China. And then it was only behind Aquaman.
Oh, wow.
When it came out. And by the second week, it had made $20 million. Isn't that crazy?
That's good stuff.
That's good.
By the way, that Joe fella did what I assume is all, if not nearly all, of the
scores for Miyazaki. He usually uses the same guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name was Joe. It sounds so weird. Like, Joe? Joe?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he's important.
That's funny. So let me see. I think I got all my notes in there. So yeah.
Yeah.
What a good time. We had a good time with Totoro.
Yeah, my first time. It was pretty cool.
Oh, what is our next film?
Clueless.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, but I might. That's a tricky one. It's interesting.
Is it?
I haven't been able to watch it all the way through since Brittany Murphy died.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Word. I didn't even think about that.
Every time I start watching it, I'm like, oh, and then I freak out and I turn it off.
That movie is funnier
and Stacey
every time
Dash.
I watch it.
Because Stacey Dash is kind of like a, ooh.
I quote that movie a lot.
I quote that movie constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that we're doing it, though. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I get through it without like crying or something over.
Well, don't worry.
Murphy.
I'll be talking about other death.
So
murder.
Other people were murdered on the set of this film.
Yeah. Did you know Amy Heckerling
murdered 20 people to get this film made? I love Amy Heckerling too. Love her. She's so good.
Yeah.
She did just a side note, she did a film that probably nobody's ever seen, but it was called it's a song by what is the name of this group? White something. Not White House.
White House Black Market.
It was from a movie or a movie.
White House Down.
God damn it. What is that? I Can Never Be Your Woman. I Can Never Be Your Woman.
Okay.
That was the name of the movie. It was also the name of the song that I was trying to think of.
Yes.
By White something. White Town, maybe? And the album that it was from was called Women in Technology. And I could never, to this day, I had never Googled it, so forgive me, people, if you're nerds out there that love that band. But
what's the song?
I Can Never Be Your Woman. You know the song. You definitely know
I
the song.
I Can Never Be Your Baby.
No.
But You'll Always Be My Baby. Oh, with Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, and Paul Rudd, who still looks exactly the same.
He doesn't age. He's aged.
Oh,
and what's her face? Who was Hannah?
Everybody was in this movie.
Hannah.
Even Graham Norton was in that movie. We need to do that movie at some point.
Yes, Stacey Dash.
It's such a good
Fred Willard.
movie.
My goodness.
It's
Henry
such a good
Winkler.
movie.
What up? Wallace Shawn. Of course.
Yeah. But anyway, Amy Heckerling did that, and like I said, I don't think. Oh, Tracy Ullman was in it too. I love that movie. Such a good film.
The band is White Town.
White Town. Okay, yeah. You know the song. Play the song. Play a little clip.
I'm not gonna
play.
Play
a little clip. Play a little clip of it. Let's get so the audience knows what we're talking about.
The audience also, I assume, if they have us, they have Google.
They don't care. They don't care enough to Google afterwards. They're like, we need you to do it right now.
I think that song has been sampled in other songs.
Oh, really?
For whatever song often played in the ever popular amongst me game, Aggressive Inline.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But I love that song. And this is what I was going to say, that I haven't Googled, I haven't looked at the band, I don't know who they are. Mm-hmm. I just know that song, and I know that it was from an album called Woman in Technology because I was going to purchase it, but then LimeWire was a thing, so I just downloaded the song. So I never purchased the album, even though I knew what it was.
It also sounds like it was on the Craft soundtrack.
It really does, doesn't it? But I always wondered, because the song says, I Could Never Be Your Woman, but it sounds kind of like a dude. Mm-hmm. And I could never figure out if it was actually a woman Or was it a man? I don't know.
Ooh, do you want to hear
really don't know.
a fun fact about me?
Yes.
It wasn't until, like, way longer than it should be that I thought the song Piano Man was sung by a man and a woman.
Wait a minute. What? What is happening right now?
Play us a song of the Piano Man.
By Billy Joel.
Yeah.
I had the album on vinyl when I was a kid.
I thought that it was
love
two
that album
people. I
cover,
thought it was
too.
a duet.
What?
You were telling me you couldn't tell if this person was a man or a woman singing the song.
I mean,
I'm telling you.
I'm behind you. I support you.
But
what? I mean, maybe it's because I grew up with it and I had the album.
Yeah, no, this is the response
So-
I get. But I thought when, like, he went high, it sounded like a woman.
Okay. No,
To
I
me.
mean, it's fine. I mean, I can see it.
I just thought it was a duet.
Okay. I feel like I could do duets like that.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I could do both. Like, I make,
Ooh,
like...
John, we should both do both and then really confuse
We could
people.
really confuse people. Like the song from Sleeping Beauty, of course, where Aurora is singing, you know, like...
I've heard you sing it.
I know you. But I can also do, I know you. Like, I could do both, and I always thought it'd be super funny if I ever did, like, a one-man show of some sort.
Oh, like
I would
those-
totally open with that. And I'd be off stage singing most of it, then I'd come out, you'd see it was a man with a beard, and then I would go into the...
Oh,
I
you
love the
wouldn't
part where
shave
he
half your
interrupts
beard
her.
and do, like, the...
I love it. I love in that song where he interrupts her, and I love to do that. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. But I also like to make fun of, I don't know why this is coming up, but Audrey Hepburn, because she did not do her vocals for My Fair Lady. Not all, she did some of them. Like, she did, just you white and Reagan's, just you white. Like, she did that one.
Right.
But she did not do all of them. So Marnie Nixon did, which is a famous thing. Like, people know this. But so I always thought, like, it sounds so obvious to me when you hear it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, all I want is a room somewhere far away from the corner. Like, it's so obvious that it's not her singing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. So I love to make fun of that, too. I mean, I love Audrey, obviously. But, yeah. And I actually have heard her... She did sing the songs, but they had to replace them because it
didn't fit the daintiness of her character.
The thing is like Audrey can sing. You know, she was Breakfast at Tiffany's, funny face. She sang.
Okay.
She can sing, but she can't sing the way that is written. Like Julie Andrews originated that part on Broadway,
right?
And when you hear her do it, it's like, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like. And what she was supposed to be, they championed for her to be in the movie, but it didn't work. One of the executives were like, no. She can't be in a movie. She's never been in a movie before. How dare you? And they wanted Audrey. And even Audrey tried to get Julie into the film because she's like, I can't believe you're going to try to get me in this film because Julie's been doing this on stage for how long? She originated the part. Like, she should be in the movie. She's amazing.
And she's like, I've had enough. Bye-bye.
And, but Julie was also doing Mary Poppins at the same time.
Oh.
And so what happened was Audrey had a big dinner at her house, and she was like, "Hey, look, you gotta have Julie do this." And they were like, "You know what? We're tired of this back and forth. If you're not gonna do it, we're gonna find somebody else that will, and it won't be Julie Andrews. So either you do it or you don't." And she's like, "Fine, I'll fucking do the goddamn movie." So she did the movie. And then
Audrey, language.
I doubt she said the fuck word, but she but she did try to get Julie Andrews the part in the movie. Just for the record, for all the people out there that think that they had a big beef between them, because they did not. They actually were very nice to each other and civil. But
good.
And Julie Andrews understood. Like, she knew the whole game and what was going on. And she's like, but I was already in Mary Poppins, so I couldn't do it anyway. I was already busy. So,
chimney sweeps.
I was doing chimney sweeps, and then I was doing some
dancing
music.
like penguins.
And guess what? So when it came around to it, Julie Andrews won the Academy Award for Best Actress that year for Mary Poppins. And Audrey wasn't nominated.
Ooh, Audrey, a good person, though.
No, I love Audrey.
Audrey, we applaud you still.
And believe me, let me get some of that. But I also want to point out that her performance in that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Audrey was spectacular in My Fair Lady. The only thing that is weird is that she did not do all her vocals. It's the only thing that's weird about that. But other than that, she is incredible in that movie. Like, when you see her do the Cockney accent at the beginning, she's so good at it. And then when she's a more refined woman, like, she pulls it off. Because she's Audrey fucking Hepburn.
Yeah.
Of course she can pull that off. But, you know, she just couldn't do the Marnie Nixon high notes. So Marnie Nixon did them. But Marnie Nixon did so many other... She did King and I for Deborah Carr. She did her vocals for that. Like, Deborah Carr didn't sing any of those songs. Like, she's notorious for having done this before. I feel like she also did the West Side Story for Natalie Wood. Maybe? Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on that. I might not be right.
Gonna.
No, don't do
John
it.
Christian
Don't
S.
do it. No. Footsies out there, correct me. You know what? Please do. Come on, guys.
I love corrections.
We ask every week for these people to interact with us on social media.
Well, I ask for corrections and...
that too.
I want the harsh feedback.
I want some harsh feedback,
I'm like an athlete.
And I'm the one that checks the Instagram. So if you say anything negative, John will cry somewhere in a corner and then text Ashley.
So just direct it to Ashley, and John will be like, well, that has nothing to do with me.
That's not me. I'll send that to Ashley. Ashley, you were wrong.
Oh, that was really weird. You laughed very similar to the way I laugh. My goofy laugh.
Do you know what's funny? Sometimes when I'm listening to this later, I'm like, was that me or was that her? Like, I have no clue. I'm serious. I do that sometimes.
That's fantastic.
Oh, it's so fun.
Ready? That's fantastic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So close. No, I was doing you. But then I snuck in a little bit of Jim Carrey. And that's why I did the O.
Oh my God, I'm choking. I'm dying. Okay,
yeah.
We're dead.
Yeah.
Murder on the Totoro Express.
So Clueless is going to be the next one.
It was
between...
So sorry.
No, it's fine. It was between Clueless, like, She's All That, Bring It On.
Is that why you
Legally
watched
Blonde?
She texts me. Ashley texts me randomly. A screenshot from something, and I had no clue what it was. It had some horrible hairdos in it.
It was perfect.
And I was like, what the hell is this shit? And then she said, my favorite moment in cinematic history. And I was like,
it's the
what?
damn scene and She's All That.
And I did not know what it was, and I did not want to respond because I was like,
why is
what?
it there?
What is happening right now?
But
and I kept thinking to myself,
pickup shots
like,
from Usher.
I kept thinking of my favorite moments in cinematic history, and I was thinking, wow, we have really different opinions. What good moments of cinematic history are happening?
Yeah, there were others like 8 Days a Week, maybe, or
8 days a week.
Yeah, with Kerry Russell and that one guy and the old lady who like
I have
sits
no
on her
clue what
rooftop.
you're talking about. That.
Oh, that's like it's a movie.
8 days a week.
Yeah,
it's not
named after the Beatles song, but it's about
they had Hard Day's Night was their movie.
Right. Well, there's also movies named after their songs, like Can't Buy Me Love.
Well, yeah.
Is the guy who with the telescope, right?
No clue.
So in the film,
You can't buy me love.
Yeah. So he paid. Like, he's gonna buy like a special telescope because he is like a huge nerd, and
wasn't there a telescope in Danny DeVito? Renaissance
inside Danny DeVito.
Inside Danny DeVito, there is a huge telescope. No, Renaissance Man. His daughter wanted a telescope because she wanted to be an astrologist, and he was like, "That's dumb. That's not a career."
Oh well, yeah. No, this guy was mowing lawns to save money.
We should do Renaissance Man. I'm sorry, that was a side note.
We should let footsies vote.
Well, we should, but how are they going to vote?
Instagram, social media,
maybe. But nobody ever does that. Nobody likes us.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sad.
Don't do that.
You guys have to like us.
You know what? I don't like us.
I'm kidding. We actually got a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
So maybe we should have people vote. I don't know.
Between like twin movies.
Twin movies.
Did I say Legally Blonde?
Like Junior? No, that wasn't a twin movie.
No, like Deep Impact and Independence Day.
Oh God, do we have to watch either one of those?
No.
Independence Day was not the movie. Deep Impact and.
Go on, tell me. What was it? Armageddon.
Armageddon. Thank you.
You're right.
Disaster asteroid movies.
They were.
There's got to be other ones.
Volcano and Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak, yeah, I remember that. I think I watched Dante's Peak. No,
Ooh,
wait a
Gone
minute.
in 60 Seconds.
Was there another one?
Fast and the Furious.
That's not the same. Fast and
Were
the
they
Furious
not
was like
boosting
stunt
cars?
drivers.
Alright.
They weren't stealing them. Were they?
There's been a lot. There's been a lot. Burlesque and...
Burlesque and nothing else ever.
Or everything.
Oh my God.
Coyote Ugly.
Jason's been rewatching RuPaul's Drag Race, and they actually had, RuPaul did a spoof of the Cher scene where Chaz Bono was the lighting and sound guy. You remember the scene where right before she was going to perform her,
Yeah.
You haven't seen the last of me?
Yeah, she's sitting on the chair.
Yeah.
But, like, giving it her all.
RuPaul spoofed the entire scene leading up to RuPaul being revealed to sing one of her songs, and Chaz Bono was the person up in the booth. And I thought that was hysterical. And, of course, RuPaul was doing the Cher impersonation the whole time.
Also, I want to say, I talked so much shit during the burlesque episode.
You did?
Well, not like I gave it a hard time. I thought that I gave it a hard time.
We got a follower.
Maybe I was a little rougher.
We got a follower on Instagram for a huge Christina Aguilera fan.
Oh.
I looked at his Instagram and I was like, dang, he really thought it was Christina Aguilera.
Oh, that must be how he found us.
Yeah, he did. I think he did.
Absolutely. But I want you to know that I have a fondness towards burlesque now that I didn't before, since we watched it together.
Oh, I love
which
that
I
movie.
assume is what happened with you with Terminator.
It was.
Yeah.
And now, I had a dream that I watched another one. No, I did. I had a whole dream that I was watching, and I kept thinking, Ashley would love this. Like, I'm watching another one. I mean, obviously in my dream it was a fictional...
Was it the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
No.
With
it was like
the woman
movie.
who also plays Cersei?
No, it was a movie.
Huh?
Cersei is one of the characters on Dark Crystal.
Ooh.
Yeah, she plays... I don't know, one of them.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we haven't talked about that. And our footsies are probably dying to know what we thought. Have you watched it?
I haven't finished it.
How far are you into it?
First episode.
Oh, okay. I've watched the whole thing.
Yeah?
I will say, and this is not a spoiler, it's depressing as fuck because it's like, well...
It's also a prequel.
We also know what happens later.
Yeah, they're going to kill all the Gelflings.
All the Gelflings are going to die. So it's like, but I love the idea that they did not hesitate to go through with some of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, people die in the show.
Yeah.
It's a puppet show.
Not Chamberlain, I know that.
No, but, well, you'll be surprised later when you see what happens.
No, is he no
what?
longer?
No, he hummed. And you know that Simon Pegg?
Yes.
Simon Pegg does that voice. I was shocked to know that he did that because I thought it was Mark Hamill. But Mark Hamill plays the... can't remember who he plays. He plays one of the other characters. But I was like... And every time I heard the other character, I was like, that's Mark Hamill? I kept thinking the Chamberlain sounds so much more like Mark Hamill.
Yes.
But it was not. It was Simon Pegg.
Right on.
And Sigourney Weaver is one of the characters, and I could not figure out which one she was.
Who's playing Gelfling?
I don't know. I didn't recognize her when I looked her up.
What's her name?
Good job, though.
Aura? No.
Agra. And her
like
titties.
water.
Where's
no
her
nipples.
titties? No
nips. Mad about that. But she still squats like she's laying an egg.
She, it's good, though.
And she's like...
The show is amazing. Episode, 7, I think it was. Holy shit. They do a puppet show within the puppet show.
Oh, I saw your post about that.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, because there was some point where they mentioned something, but then they did like a, like leading up to it, they were like, and we're going to show you like a
dramatized.
Like, no, they were like, well, we're going to tell you the true story of, where are they from? I'm bad at names. What is the name of the planet?
Yeah, Thra.
Thra? They were like, we're going to tell you the true story of Thra, or whatever. And he's like, in the best art form ever created, puppetry. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then they do a whole puppet show sequence, and I was like, this is amazing. It's puppets putting on a puppet show. I was like, it's like a film within a film, or a play within a play. Like Shakespeare. It was so good.
I will say that the writing still felt very true to the first one in 1982.
Yeah.
Because it was still a little like heavy-handed with the concept.
Yo, yeah.
Where they're like, oh, do we want to
murder someone?
No,
yeah, sure.
No, I meant the memory thing, the memory meld thing, or the mind melding. Mind melding is like
sex stuff
something.
too.
Yeah,
there was some. I was like,
yeah.
oh, there.
And then they were like, but then I kissed you. Like the way they like.
That was
They spoon fed you like the such.
That.
I was like, this is very much like the 1982 version.
I mean, I can see where families could watch it together, sort of. But at the same time, it's like, ooh, more for the adult. Kind of like Dark Crystal. Same
Dark Crystal was
like
still,
my dad
like,
kind of made us watch it because he's like, well, I guess it's puppets.
Yeah.
But then when you're watching, you're like, Dad, give me nightmares. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, dude.
And I was thinking you were going to have a nightmare over this thing because there's some scenes in it.
Yeah, I carried that trauma into adulthood.
You did. And I remember us doing the commentary and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ash is going to have a problem with some of this because this is... Ooh. Like, those Skeksis are funky. And they are murdering bitches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the one that's oozing a whole bunch?
Oh,
Loved
God,
it.
It's so fucking gross.
Yeah.
I was trying to eat when that happened. I was, like, so pissed. I got to stand. Ow!
Yeah, that's fine. We're also, like, done now.
These poor kids.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a short episode.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week for Clueless.
Clueless. Woo!
Bye-bye!